20-25 minutes or half an hour maximum. Then, we can move to the Q&A session. So like I mentioned, University of Law, we provide programs in law, business, criminology, policing, psychology, and even in computer science. So this is the history of University of Law. We established as a college of law. We are teaching law since 1876. So we are one of the oldest university, teaching law. We established as a college of law in 1962. We started our business school in 2012, and now we are also offering, computer science, psychology, and many other programs as well. So why study at University of Law? We have expert career services. Our specialist career and employability services is one of the largest in the UK. We have multiple locations in the UK. University of Law is a 5-star rated universities. More than 95% of our students have got the job in the highly skilled jobs, which means not just the jobs. They have got the job as per the, their study which they have done. They are not working in Uber, or they are not driving taxis. They are working in the relevant jobs. We provide practical degrees with real-world focus that prepare these students for a professional careers. All our program taught by expert. We have trained more practice lawyers than anybody else in the UK. It's mentioned 90,000, but now we have more than 1 lakh alumni across the globe. This is very important slides. What adds value to the brand? First is the employment promise. So there are sometimes misconception about consumption around employment promise. People think is a money back. It's kind of sometimes people feel and they say if you don't get the job, you can just simply go and apply for the refund. Yes, you are right, you can apply, but at the same time there are a lot of terms and conditions which you need to fulfill, and this is the kind of insurance policy which we are giving to students. So nobody want to refund the anything to students or anyone. We are just giving the assurance that you have chosen the right university. So if you do well in your career, if you studies properly, then you take the support from university. We offer you the employment promise, and that is applicable for all our PG Masters business program. So in case a student does not get the job in the UK, we refund them the tuition fees. That is how our employment promise works. This is all for our PG Masters business program. So there are 3 basic terms and conditions. One is 80% attendance, which means students have to attend the classes. Second is passing the examination in one go. So student cannot take backlogs, they cannot fail the exams. They need to pass in one go. And the third terms and condition is taking support from university, which means students have to be proactive along with the university. They have to attend the job fairs which university will organize. University will ask them to attend it. They have to be on their toes to take all the help from university. If they do that, then we feel the jobs are our responsibility. Because when we launch our business program, we thought there are so many universities are already providing business program. Why anyone will come to us and study with us? So first of all, what we did, we made our program very, very practical. We have tie-up with a lot of industry experts. Then we thought, still everybody say the same thing. Why someone will trust us? So that is the reason we offered employment promise. So in case you don't get the job, even after doing a lot of hard works, a lot of studies, and doing your best, and if you still don't get the job, then you can come back to us and apply for the refund. This is how the employment promise works. We also have 2 years program, which means professional practice program. This is applicable again for all our PG Masters business program. So 1 year normal program. In case a student is looking for 2 year program, the advantage of 2 year program, 1 year of studies, 1 year of work, and then 2 years of stay back in the UK. So technically they can be in the UK for 4 years. And the second year cost is just approximately 1,800 to 2,000 pounds, which is roughly approximately you can say 2 lakh rupees you are paying additional, and you can be in the UK for 1 more year. So professional practice is a great choice for students. I would recommend these students to apply with the professional practice so that they can be in the UK for 1 more year. Third is the payment after credibility interview. This is again very big advantage because we know the Indian market. We know every student cannot pass the credibility interview. That is how we have changed the system. So you record your interview first on the cash shield, and you need to pay only after passing the credibility interview. So no amount need to pay. You can just apply for the offer letter, receive the offer letter, record the interview, and once you pass, then only you need to pay your tuition fees. Until then, you don't need to pay any deposit. And once you pay, later you can just simply apply Submit your funds on the cash shield and university will issue you the cash. Fourth step is MOI English waiver, which means, we understand in the market, we know, students look for the waiver. We have around 200 plus universities, which is part of our MOI list. So just go through our list and, in case a student fulfill that requirement, like within 5 years of studies with English medium, and if the university is part of our MOI list, a student can apply with English waiver as well. We have various courses specialization. We have multiple campuses at the prime locations. So these are the campuses that we have, which I was talking. So technically, we have 20 plus campus in the UK, but on the left hand side, you can see Manchester, Leeds, Birmingham, Nottingham. We have 2 campuses in London. We have campus in Bristol. All these campuses are owned by University of Law, and all these campuses are very, very central locations. All the part-time job, full-time jobs, supply chain companies, everything is nearby available. We also have tie-up with a lot of institutions like University of Reading, Liverpool, East Anglia, Sheffield, Exeter, Southampton, Royal Holloway, Newcastle, and many more universities which deliver our law programs, which means, we are very, very specialized. That is why we offer our program even in their campuses as well. And some of these are Russell Group universities. We have all these credentials. Our business programs are part of CMI, CIM, ACCA, and we are 5-star rated university. We also have the membership with Business Graduate Association, EFMD Global, and many more. So like I mentioned, this is how our employment promise works, which is valid till June 26, because it get renewed every year. So business programs is applicable for all our PG Masters business programs. You can see programs like MSc Artificial Intelligence, Business Analytics, Corporate Financial, Cybersecurity, Leadership, Human Resource, Marketing, Project Management, Strategic Business Management, and even MBA program. So all these programs covered under Employment Promise, and 2 program in law, LLM Legal Practice and Legal Practice course. These are also covered under Employment Promise, which means in case a student doesn't get the job in the UK in 9 months of completing their studies, they can come back to us and apply for the refund. And refund is like 50% cash back and 50% credit towards another course. In case you guys have any question, feel free to put in the chat box, and we are happy to answer those after the session. These are the companies which are part of our business school advisory board. You can see the companies like Deloitte, Highways England, Cisco, Alibaba Cloud, Dash Bank, Liberty. So, which means, whenever we design our program, whenever we design our curriculum, we always take the advice from these industry experts, because these are the companies which are going to hire most of our students. That is why we are assured and we offer employment promise. So these companies help us design our program. They let us know, if the programs are relevant according to the current industry requirement or not. So if they say these modules are not good, and there will be no enough jobs in the market after launching those programs, we don't offer those programs. So we take advice from these industry people, and if they say, then only we offer those programs. Employability support, employability built into every course, including placement on business courses. We have all our programs are very, very practical, one-to-one career support. We help these students in terms of CV preparation, application. We arrange online tests, interview, and assessment day. We help these students to prepare for internship, placement, and graduate roles. We organize a lot of workshops with skill, behavior, and career development. We make these students talk to employers. We arrange a lot of national and local job fairs. We have pro bono and work experience team. We have job vacancy database where a student can register and get notified whenever the jobs openings are available. We work with more than 12,000 brands, but obviously you can't mention all the names. These are just the few names that we have mentioned, here. Otherwise, we have 12,000 plus brands. These are our Manchester placement employers. Like I mentioned, these are just the few, but we work with more than 12,000 brands. Our alumni, like I mentioned, we have more than 1 lakh alumni. We work with around 12,000 businesses and organizations. Our alumni is spread across 155 countries. You can see the popular alumni like Erin, Rachel, Caroline, and Sadiq Khan, which is the mayor of London. These are some of the popular alumni, because it's not easy to mention all the names. Rest of the names, in case you wish to know, you can go to our website and know more about it. Even the Shah Rukh Khan and Miranda Brown, Guy Beringer, these are also our, alumni which have got the doctorate degree from University of Law. So like I mentioned, our programs are very practical. Our focus is on employment. So you can see no exams in the curriculum, or everything is on the basis of practical learning. So all business program assessment, mostly portfolio exams when required by accrediting bodies. Only workshops, max 40 students per group, but mostly around 20-30. Timetable, very well organized, typically 3 days in a week, MSc often 2, but generally you can consider 3 days a week in a class. High staff flexibility plus academic coaches. All workshops including practical activities, no lectures at all. What makes us different? Emphasis on practical business application, focus on employability and engage with major business. And that is why we offer employment promise. So we don't just say, we deliver that in our words. That is why we offer employment promise. Mid-open section. So MOI should be within 5 years. In case your student should be 21 pass out and the university should be part of our MOI list, then they can apply with the waiver. MOI letter should simply say student date of birth, or student reference number with the student full name, and even the affiliated colleges are also accepted. And the degree should be MOI letter should clearly stating that the award has what was taught and assessed in English. We also give waiver in terms of 12th standard board. Expiry date is 6 years, which means even 2020 pass outs can apply with English waiver. And for all programs, whether you're applying for undergrad, masters, business, computer science, law, MOI is only applicable for business and computer science. But if you're applying for law and you want the waiver, then you can apply on the basis of these boards. So CBSE, ICSE, or the other boards like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Kerala, Karnataka, West Bengal, Goa, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan. So if you studied with these boards, if you have scored 70% in English, then you can get the waiver. These are our postgraduate business programs. You can see programs like under business, project management, human resource, strategic business management, marketing, artificial intelligence under business, then business and law, few programs, then finance, MSc corporate financial management, criminology, we have MSc criminology and criminal justice. Then we have cybersecurity, which is MSc cybersecurity management. Under computer science, we have MSc legal technology, MSc cybersecurity management, or MSc computer science. And in psychology, we have MSc psychology conversion. These are some of our PG Hero programs, which are most selling programs, and you can see it's very affordable cost. 15,000 cost for London and 14,000 outside London, which is after scholarship and early bird discount. Because every student to apply to us, they get 3,000 pounds for London campus, 2,500 outside London, and they also get early bird discount in case they pay the fees on time. PG business, the second year, this is how the second year work. So you can choose the option, or you'll get the option of these: academic dissertation, business project, consultancy project, business plan, or paid placement. Obviously, most of these students look for the paid placement, but in case they are unable to find the paid placement in the second year, university will engage them in terms of academic dissertation, business project, or some projects, consultancy project, or business plans. We also offer MBA, which requires 3 years of work experience. Obviously, we are trying to modify it. We have given the feedback to the market, to the university, in case they can reduce the work experience, in case the prior interview can be, reduce, or we can, avoid that. So we are waiting for that confirmation. I'll let you know more, once we hear more about it. Otherwise, at the moment, we need 3 years of work experience for our MBA program. Our MBA is again very affordable, offered in February 2026 in London campus, just 15,500 along with placement tier. You can additional apply, and with employment promise. We also offer undergrad programs, but our undergrad programs are only available in September. Apart from law, we have law LLB programs available, which is available in January. Otherwise, rest of the undergrad programs are only available in next September, which is September 26. So we work with 94 of top law 100 firms in the UK, which is England and Wales. You can see our strategic partnership for our law, programs. We offer LLB program, which requires 70%, which is also available in January intake. This is the fees after scholarship. So you can see very affordable cost. We offer around 27 plus specialization in terms of LLM. We just need 50% to be eligible with IELTS 6.56, or student can apply with 12th board waivers as well. You can see the popular programs. We have just mentioned few because it's not easy to mention all the programs. You can see programs like International Human Rights, Masters of Law International, Corporate Governance, Company Law, Data Protection, International Arbitration, International Business Law, International Commercial Law. Apart from that, we offer many more programs which you can go on the website and you know find out. Or we also have the flyers which KCT might share with you, and you can go with it. Again, very, very affordable, just 16,000 for London campus, and outside London, just 14,500. Very, very affordable cost. We also offer law conversion programs. So in case your student wants to become the barrister and solicitor in the UK, they can apply for the conversion program first, and later on they can apply for the legal practice course or the or the barrister program. So we are very, very popular in law. That is why we also help these students to become solicitor and barrister in the UK. Again, very, very affordable. The cost for MA law is approximately £16,000 after scholarship, and the PGDL is roughly 10 to 11,000, 11 to 12,000 with bursaries. So this is the student journey looks like. Once your student apply, they get the offer letter within 3 working days. I'm saying 3 working days, but most of the time your student get your offer letter within 24 hours as well. So, but just to expect the timeline, I'm mentioning 3 working days, and right now it's 3 working days, but it might take long time if you're applying closer to the deadline. So because of the rush time, things get delayed, and because of volume, things take time. So this is the best time to start your process, apply and get the offer letter within 3 working days. Second step is meeting all the condition and record your compliance interview. Again, right now you are getting the interview result within 24 hours, but as we reach close to the deadline, it may take more time because of the huge rush. Right now the interview results are also very, very positive. I am seeing more than 80% of students are getting pass at the moment. But as we reach to the timeline, as we reach to the timeline of like closer to the deadline, then obviously the result rate becomes lesser, because the compliance has the option of choosing their best students. So this is the best time to take advantage, record the interview after receiving the offer letter. Third step is receiving the unconditional offer letter and pay deposit, which is £8,000 you can pay after receiving the unconditional offer letter. And the fourth and last step is uploading everything on your cash shield and receive your cash and apply for the visa. 28 days old fund required to apply for the visa. In case the funds are latest, university may ask for the source of money. So please be prepared and keep some extra buffer when you are depositing the money in your bank account. Or educational loan letter is also accepted. Co-applicant is also okay. Co-borrower is also okay. We don't mind. Student loan should be on a student account. These are our academic criteria. So you can see for undergrad, we need 6 with 5.5 for business undergrad, 65% as per academic. Law undergraduate, we need 60-70%, and IELTS 6.56. Business postgraduate, we just need 50%, IELTS 6, 5.5. I'm not sure. I'm sure all of you are already aware about it. But in case anyone is hearing, just for the first time, we have reduced the IELTS requirement, which is now 6, 5.5 for PG Masters Business Program, just to encourage all these students to go with the IELTS. So that now, in case you don't have the MOI, you can clear IELTS with 6, 5.5. Because if you are not able to get 6 as well, then your profile is very, very doubtful. Because I've seen a lot of cases where these students are deported from airport, or they have not been allowed to reach in the UK. So, but if you have scored IELTS, then you can clearly demonstrate your score. You can clearly tell them, I've cleared IELTS and this is my scorecard. So they will not question on these students' English skills. Your chances of reaching in the UK are much higher even after getting the visa, because some students, even after getting the visa, they have been deported because of their poor English. So IELTS is the test where you can justify and you can prove, and you can tell them, I've scored IELTS, which means, and IELTS is recognized worldwide, right? You can tell them, I've scored IELTS, so my English is much better. For law masters, we need 6.56 and 50% in academics. We also accept TOEFL and PT. So, you can see the comparison of IELTS and PT. For 6, we just need 56 in PT and 60 in TOEFL. We accept application from all over India. Document required, you already know. We know all academics and everything. Minimum 8,000 deposits is required. Just pay few pound extra to cover, pound rate fluctuation and any short amount which may reach to university. Avoid long study gap, but we don't mind accepting 7-8 years of gap for masters and 3 to 5 years for undergrad. All these students will have to clear the compliance interview, which is on the cash shield. There is no appointment required. There is no timeline. A student can record the interview in their own timeline whenever they wish to. These are our standard deadlines, for the January intake. You can see the application deadline as of now is the 27 November for RPG business and law programs. The undergrad LLB deadlines is 28th November, which is much sooner, and the CAS deadline also for undergrad is much sooner, right? And or doing your process on time will also give you the advantage of applying under standard category, where you can get the visa on time, you can apply, and you can get CAS also on time. Because under priority, your students might be paying maybe 60,000-70,000 extra. So why to do that? Apply your credibility interview in advance, pay the fees in advance, and get your CAS on time, so that you can apply and reach to university with the standard visa only. You are not forced to apply with the priority visa in case you are doing everything on time. So please make sure that you are following the deadline and you complete everything on time. We also have the early bird discount, which is £500. I believe the deadline is 24th of November. Am I right, Akansh? Are you aware about the early bird? It's 24th, right?
No, actually, we are also waiting for the same. We have just received the confirmation. Early bird discount is there, but deadline confirmation, in fact, I don't have it.
No, I think I had shared, it with on the group that what is the deadline. I think it's 24th or maybe 27 November. I'm just forgetting the exact date. So, but just for everyone information, we also offer early bird discount, which is £500. So in case your students are paying on time, they also get £500 additional discount. £500 is not a small amount. It's like for student is like 60 plus thousand rupees. So I would suggest everyone to take that advantage and get that £500 amount. Again, this is the admission requirement, which I've already covered. I'm going to skip this. Compliance interview, very, very, important last 2-3 slides for the compliance interview. Then, I'll be opening the floor for the Q&A session. So once the interview begins, the student have 40 seconds of reading, and then 60 seconds to record the response. So 45 seconds to, read the question, thinking, and then 60 seconds to record the response. 3 security related questions, which is identity verification, passport confirmation, reading text loud, trap question. There could be 1 or 2 trap questions just to assess the student and check their communication skills. So these are the steps for the compliance interview: identity, then reading, lip syncing, audio, language. Major reasons for the failure: reading from notes. Reading from notes does not always mean that a student is reading from the note. It could be because of the rectified answer. The student is just speaking and they have remembered everything. Very, very basic and generic answers, lip syncing and blanking out. So CAS interview, student must have passport with them to complete the identity check. Interview is recorded, so they can complete in their own time. The questions are written on the screen. A student has, it's mentioned 50 seconds because it was earlier, but now it's 45 seconds of thinking time and 60 seconds to answer. There is a fair amount of repetition. So in case you feel you missed something, you can add into the next question. The questions are generally 13. With the Bangkok question, the system will randomly choose a question from each category. Some basic tips: keep your passport when you're going to record the interview. Select a comfortable and quiet place where nobody else should be around. Always use laptop with camera. Don't use cell phone. Always look in the camera while recording. Dress to impress. Wear smart and presentable clothes. Use 3R: research, rehearse, and relax. Be more confident and comfortable. Then you are better it is. Right. Be natural with the response and don't read from a script. Avoid basic, simple, and one-line response. Be engaging, friendly, and open, and remember to breathe. Use this opportunity to show how much effort has been invested in deciding to study in the UK. Some basic sample questions: why UK, why University of Law, why this program? You can see these are the sample question. I'm not going to read it. Akansha can share you the compliance, you know, PPT in case you or your students might need it. We also organize this session twice in a week, so your student can attend it. We are not able to give them sessions because we don't have that bandwidth, but we organize the group session where your students or your counselor can attend it and they can see how the compliance interview is conducted. Otherwise, the interview is very, very basic. These are some of the basic questions being asked. Then some questions related to financials, accommodation, and some basic generic questions. Some tricky questions, like I mentioned, one or two tricky questions could be, these are some of the examples. How will you survive in the climate condition of the United Kingdom? What will you take along if you're traveling to a desert? What is your favorite cuisine? Who is your favorite Hollywood actor and actress? What is your favorite book? Are you familiar with the current Prime Minister of UK? For example, let's suppose, if the question is asked, favorite Hollywood actor and actress, you can simply say, I don't like to watch the Hollywood, in case you doesn't watch, in case you know it's good. In case you don't know the Hollywood actors and actress, you can simply say, no, I don't like to watch the Hollywood movies. I rather prefer watching the Indian movies, and my Indian favorite actors are this and this. So you can just reframe the answer in your own words. The purpose is just to check your communication skills, whether you're able to speak or not. In case you are not aware about anything, you don't have to get stuck or stop there. You can answer anything which is in your mind. And like I mentioned, if, for example, I'll just give you one more example. For example, what is your favorite book? You can simply say, no, I don't like to read the book, but I like to watch a lot of videos or reels. But yes, because now I'm going to, study in the UK, so I understand I might have to study a lot of books and I have to change my habits. So you can simply answer in this way. The basic agenda to ask these tricky questions is to check your communication skills, because you're going to UK, you're going to a country like UK where the first language is English. In case you are not able to understand English, you'll not be able to survive, you'll not be able to study, and you'll not be able to get the job in the UK, right?